Going on, everybody? Mike Styler here, Carl behind the camera. So we're on my property, the BMR here. It's March. Getting ready to, we're looking at, we talked a little bit about habitat pockets, small little pockets. This is one that we want to do. This is actually a stand. I think Carl and I put this in 2 years ago, I think. Straight behind Carl and up here from the camera is a water hole that I put in. Literally got bedding east and west of this, and we're on not quite the top of my ridge, but close. So anyway, the bucks, they travel this bottom quite a bit.
Deer running.
There goes some deer.
Yeah.
And the problem is, as late as they look up here and they can see up here, so they don't come up. So what we're gonna do, we just looking around a little bit. We're gonna pop like 3 or 4, you know, like 6 to 8 foot pines in here in the spring, and we're gonna hinge over a couple of trees here. We got a couple of dead ones down the hill behind me, and just make a little pocket, like we call it, so that those bucks, if they look up here, you know, you throw them maybe a little grunt, something like that, and they're gonna have to come up here to see that what's up here, because they're not gonna be able to see it from down there. So just again promoting our movement. Also gives a nice little spot for them to, you know, they'll bed down in there and lay around there. Also the water, we're gonna leave the little water hole on top of the hill. The bigger pond that we put in, one of them that you saw on our small land projects, we're gonna go down to too. That's below us. But yeah, this is one of the areas, if you see, you can see this trail that goes through here, and they've been using this heavy for the past 3-4 years, which is why this stand got put in. So here, also right behind Carl, is a main east-west trail that I pretty much put in when I bought the property, that they always use. So again, we're showing you what it is right now. A little snow on the ground, but probably 3-4 pines in here. Hinge a few trees. We're gonna wait to hinge because it's too cold, otherwise they're gonna snap. So this is what it is right now. I'm gonna show you what it's gonna be. This is one of the spots we talked about earlier, some of the prep that we do over the winter to get ready for next year. And what I did is, it's March right now. I believe it was January. I went around right after we got some snow. I let it sit for a week or a week and a half, and I came back in and I just stuck flags in where I had real pronounced deer trails, just to kind of, you know, get the gist of the movement. Because if they're using them now, they most likely have been using them all year. You just didn't see it, so it helps you a lot. Decide if your stand locations are good, need to be moved, vice versa. So this one, I was telling Carl here, this actually goes kitty corner down this ridge, and it meets, I have it marked down there too, and it actually splits. It's pretty neat to see. They're not all coming this way. Some of them go the other way. So right below the hill here is our pond, which now they're using the trail directly in front of us to go up and down to that pond, which is what we want them to do. So we're gonna go down there and show that pond that we put in also. This is would be our east side water hole that we put in, that we showed back in, I don't remember if it's December or January. We dug it in December, I think, and then put the liner in it. You can see there's quite a bit of water in it already. This is down now off the bottom of my ridge on the north side. So this is one we're pretty excited about, because we got this berm up over here to my right. We're going to get kind of a pocket of trees here. Try to get deer to come up and move around and check this out. Another stand location we talked about, just right back here or right over here. We weren't sure where to go. There's a lot of great trees to put stands in down here, so nice thing. Deer just went across the ridge up there too.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the main bedding area.
That's one of the bedding areas. Yeah, so this is down below our bedding area, is kind of off the saddle. So it's not a stand that we can get in the morning, but it's going to be a phenomenal evening stand.
Oh yeah.
But we can be above it in the morning, which is awesome. So wanted to show this. Obviously it's going to thaw out. We're going to get some trees in down here and kind of cover this up again, pull these deer up. They like to stay to the north of this pond and travel this bottom trail down here that I put in. So they come up because this ridge kind of drops off again on the other side where there's croplands. So they come up out of there. So we're basically wanting to promote them to move and look because they're curious. Otherwise they come up, they look right here, they can see everything, they're not going to come over here. So
You're gonna put what, 4 or 5 pines in here?
yeah, I think we're going to probably 4 or 5, just get it covered up enough. Which we mounted it on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that we can get them up a little higher too. The canopy's fairly open here, so those pines will probably grow pretty decent.
Yeah. And they're gonna be fairly tall when you put them in anyway.
Yeah.
You put in 5, 6 foot, 6
Yeah.
or 7, 8 foot even.
Yeah, 6 to 8 foot tall when we put them in. So
Like I tell everybody, well, the other part too is you want to put that food plot.
yeah, between this pond and the other pond, which is where we're going to go next, is where we're going to put in a little, I don't know, like a staging plot.
Yeah.
Small plot. I started to clear it out a couple years ago, never finished it. Now I think we have a perfect reason to put that in.
Yeah. Just a little micro kill plot.
Yeah,
Another good afternoon spot.
perfect afternoon spot. And again, we're always promoting.
Actually, that one we
East
might
west.
even be able to hunt in the morning.
Might be able to. Depends how we'll have to kind of see how it goes if we can get in and out of here.
Cameras will tell us that.
Yeah, I'm sure to definitely use that. So, but yeah, this is now the pond in March. So we're on the bottom part of my ridge now. This is another. We showed up there a little bit back where a trail comes kind of sideways up this ridge. This is where it comes out, and it actually Y's off in 2 directions. Like I was saying, one goes straight down this trail to the east around by where the big pond is. And the other one is the one that goes kitty corner up the hill. So I had it flagged off. They're rolled over in the snow. But like I said, we go in, January, a little bit of snow, and really assess your property and look at your trails to see what they're doing. Carl and I are talking about, be another place to pop a stand. Obviously, again, they're coming most likely out of that bottom and up and over, and trailing back and forth the property here. So a lot of good trees in here. You could get off this trail to shoot it. So probably not a morning spot, obviously, but you could get in here in the night for sure.
Yeah, if they come off that bedding area.
Yeah, if they come off it. You're on the north side here. So yeah, bedding's up above us here on the hill.
Yeah, it's a good south wind.
Saddle in the middle.
Evening hunt. Perfect.
These are things you can do out on your property. Just walk around and look where the deer are traveling. You can see these trails are fairly used. This snow is a week old, I think, today. So these are fresh in the last week. Here we are on. Obviously, you've seen Carl just pan. This is one of our major trails. This is a bottom ridge. This trail goes up, and it actually does V off a little bit here, but it's super heavily used up over the top of this ridge, which is where we showed you we're going to put that little habitat pocket in. This comes right out by that stand. Where it Y's off here is where it goes up to a stand we call the Y stand, which is another small little pocket with a water hole. So it's cool to see this because this right here is where I started clearing 2 years ago to put a plot in, a little staging plot. Camera just behind, or stand just behind Carl here at the camera that I put in several years back. Carl sat here 1 or 2 times last year, and there's deer all over down here. So again, bedding is up on top of this hill. This trail is just super heavily used. So this just tells us, that we're doing some things right. We got some stands in the right spot. So I think, our staging plot that we talked about would be great here. Again, there's a pond on either end of this with this little staging plot in the middle. Our big plot is still down in the northwest corner of the property. So this is an area here that we're thinking about clearing up a little bit more and getting something in there.
Looking at it from here, Mike, too, this tells you why you wanted to put those pines up there in those pockets. Because if a deer's down here, you can see all the way up there.
You can see straight up there without even having to move. And they obviously don't have a problem walking up there.
No. Obviously. Who the hell ordered the rain, Mike?
I didn't do it. Stupid rain. We're down here on the west end of my property. This is my favorite end, obviously, to hunt. This is our first pond that we put in. You can see it's doing awesome. Deer are already using it. Obviously, straight behind me is our main bedding area that we did 3 years ago. I think this will be the 3rd year on that cut. You see it's super thick. Just up the ridge here is where I shot Flyer, and he literally died right here. So, and you see these are some of the pines that we planted. You see them back up the hill, and I'll have to show you when we go back up the hill. But I flagged off some more stuff here. But we want to kind of get a like semicircle around this. We burned this here. We might actually pop some of them up there so they're higher. We kind of want to get that bedding a little bit more secluded, get a little bit more thermal cover also. Also allows us, because this is our access, so basically right where Carl's standing is a trail that I put around this so we can go flare out away from the bedding and get in around to, there's actually a stand right here. There's another one just behind it in the big plot. So you can see it now before it's green, but it's nice and thick. And we saw some deer down here already, and I guarantee you they're still in there. But we're gonna get some more pines in like this and get this covered in a little bit more. Make them come out to use this pond. So, super ideas.
That's trouble.
I think they'll work.
That's right.
So, luckily we got a lot of this done when it was still decent out. So that stand there, Carl just showed you, that's where, that one, Carl and I put up last summer. That's where I shot Flyer out of. I shot him standing right here, where I'm standing. And we had started this line of pines you saw there. So anyway, this trail that I'm on that he came out of comes on the south side of the bedding. Shocker, north wind blowing through there, which is where he came out checking. This stand connects inside the bedding a little ways, and then it V's off heavy. And it literally comes right to that stand. So we're gonna basically from this pine tree down, we're gonna fill in and make this line a little bit better to cover in this bedding and get some more thermal cover here. Up top, we're gonna leave alone so that we have all the shooting in there yet. And then we're gonna move our mock scrape, which we have a mock scrape up there ahead of the front four-wheeler that I had moved last year and I hung. Not one buck hit that mock scrape. I had a camera on it all year. This is one we talked about earlier. So we're gonna drop it right down in here. I think it's about 27 yards from the stand, right on this heavy trail that we know the bucks are on. That way it's getting used. We can utilize our camera and really see what's using that trail. This is a great stand. We never planned to hunt it until late October, and that was when, the only time I sat it was October 29th when I shot my buck. So again, it's right on the edge of the bedding. It's a great stand to pop into in the morning. You can get in it. The bedding's below you, food's below you. There's bedding off the sides of you. So it's a pretty good spot. Pond is directly behind Carl in the camera, the first one we put in. So we're just kind of assessing now what we're going to do here with all my trees that are coming. Because we did a lot of the work here. There's a few trees that we do got to drop, some dead stuff and that we're going to get down anyway. It's just in the way. So we will show you when we start dropping trees in here and we move our mock.
I mean, like you said, you got the new food plot that you put in already. We opened that up. Got both ponds that are in.
Yep.
Promoting our east-west movement, using the ridge in the center of it, bedding on both sides of the ridge.
It was good to see where I marked a lot of those trails. We could see that that is where the deer are using them.
Yeah,
So I think some of the things we're going to do, especially that little habitat pocket
that's a big
on
one.
that top water hole stand, is going to be big.
Yep.
That campsite plot opened up, like you said. That's going to be nice. You know, that gives us 2 more stand locations.
Well,
That week on morning.
yeah. The other part of it is looking at the trails that we looked at today. It let us know that the plan that you've been progressing with over the last 5 years is working.
Yeah, it's working.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
You know, but it's never done.
No, ever. Definitely takes time, you know, I think we talk about that a lot, where this work you do, don't expect it to be great, you know, that next year, you know, it takes 2 or 3 years. Like this will be the third year coming in on our cut, you know, for the bedding.
Yeah.
So that's just getting thicker and thicker, which is what we want.
And you can really see it right now on how much that is improved. I mean, that the use, the amount of trails going in and out, and movement east-west that we
Yeah, it looks good.
wanted to develop, so. Tomorrow, we're gonna head on to my place. We'll show you guys some stuff there. We're actually gonna start doing some cutting.
Where we saw, we're cutting everything down.
That's it. We're taking
Leveling it.
wood's down.
Down.
Actually, what we're gonna do is, and we'll show it to you. This kind of little heads up. Is, we're gonna talk about softening the edges of the wood line,
Yep.
and then we're gonna decide a couple spots where we're gonna want to drop trees.
Yeah,
And
we're
we'll
just
drop
gonna
some.
drop and leave. We're not hinging anything yet until it gets a little warmer.
No, we're basically going to do what happened here at Mike's 3 years ago at my place and in pockets from certain areas. And then we'll show you guys some stand locations and stuff like that. And we'll progress throughout the year showing you that.
Nice.
Small property layouts. So we appreciate you guys watching. Get a chance to remember to select the channel here in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the Reaper.
Right? 5 months, people.
5 months
It'll
down
be
below.
September. Yeah, buddy.
We'll be heading west already.
Click like and share, baby.
Thanks.
Like and share.